Whoa, whoa. Whoa. I know, just calm down. Just calm down. Calm down. Just hold my hand. All right.
I think it might be a lot bigger, and it's a baby Bigfoot.
What would you do if you were alone at your campsite and strangers showed up without warning? Or worse, heard a voice answer back when no one else was there? These are real moments caught on camera, and every single one of them happened to someone who thought it was just going to be a normal day outside. On a quiet morning at the St. Louis River near the Boy Scout landing boat ramp, a man named David launched his kayak alone. His channel, Jones Outdoors, follows his solo fishing trips on open water. That day, the wind picked up fast. The waves moved at a swift rate. Then, somewhere across the water, he heard a sound that stopped everything. A child's scream that no parent ever wants to hear.
Okay.
Can you help me with my dad?
Well, your dad's back there, but I'm gonna bring you in the shore, okay? I know. Just calm down. Just calm down.
I get to my dad.
Calm down. Just hold my hand.
My dad.
All right. You can't pull right now. Just hold on a second.
I need to get to my dad.
Okay, but I'm gonna bring you over to land, okay? You don't have to worry about the current taking you out. Just listen to me. What's your name? EJ, okay?
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do right now, I have to figure out a way to get you up and out without bringing all the water in, okay? Can you do that for me? Can I get you to shore?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really need it.
Yep, okay. So,
really need it.
can you do that for me?
Yes.
You're strong, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I just need to be strong for a few more seconds. All right?
And what's this?
Oh, that's my minnow bucket. There's fathead minnows in there, okay? All right, so I'm gonna try to back us up.
Yeah, you doing this.
Okay.
I've been screaming it for a long time.
I know, yep.
And he was not listening.
I know. Can you hold on, keep holding on like that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. How old are you?
I can't remember.
You can't remember? Are you that old?
A young boy had been swept away by the river current. He had been in the water for some time, calling out for his father, who was positioned on the other side of the riverbank. No matter how loud the boy screamed, his father could not hear him. The fisherman spotted the boy struggling in the water. He cut his line, started up his kayak, and made his way over. The boy grabbed onto the side of the kayak and held on. The man decided not to pull him fully into the boat, worried it would take on too much water. Instead, he kept the boy holding onto the side and paddled toward the nearest dock. As they moved through the water, the boy mentioned he was getting cold. The man grew concerned. He did not know how long the boy had already been in the river.
Yep.
And he hooked you.
I think he unhooked his anchor and then he just got blown away in the current, which made...
Strong enough.
Yeah, you can do it. You've been swimming in the current for so long. Can you? Or you need some help?
Up and out of the water with the tire.
Yeah, are you still really, really cold?
Yeah, he's colder.
Good job. Yeah, hold on. Let me get this off.
That's where was he?
I think he got blown away over there. Come on, let's see if we can find somebody to get you a napkin. Here, let me get you.
I should use it by the water.
Yeah.
I should.
You doing good?
Yeah.
Still cold?
Yeah.
Come on, let's see if somebody's home. Hi, do you have any towels on him? His dad left him stranded out in the middle of the river. Yeah, and he's saying he's feeling cold. I was just somebody that was fishing, but I want to make sure that he's fine. Then we're going to call 911. We got to make sure you're doing okay so you don't have hypothermia or something like that sitting there. Why? Why don't you want to call 911? Are you scared?
Yes, and I don't want to.
It's okay. We just got to get you on and make sure you're getting checked out.
No.
All right.
I don't want 911, please.
Okay, come on in here, bud.
Yep, so he's got you a towel.
It's on right there.
Where was he in the?
Yeah, he was in the bay. When I came up fishing, his dad was right next to him.
Yeah.
Maybe 30, 40 yards west or east of the ramp there. And the current just swept him all the way out here.
Oh.
And his dad
There's
was...
actually 2 people drowned here in that same spot last year.
I thought his dad was coming because his dad has a sailboat right there, and he's still not coming. Still hasn't came in and checked in on him. So we just got to make sure we get you warm and that you're going to be okay, because we don't...
I don't want 911,
Okay.
please.
Okay, we're gonna get you all fixed up here, Jack.
Yeah.
Once they reached the dock, the man brought the boy to a nearby home and asked for a towel. The boy was shivering. Emergency services were contacted to check on him and rule out hypothermia. When the father finally arrived, his reaction surprised everyone present.
David.
Very pleased to meet you.
Yep.
Sounds like he was a bit nervous.
Well, he was screaming, and it was like, I looked back to see where you were at, and you were a couple hundred yards away, and then there was somebody else that had a boat and heard him screaming, but then they went past him because the people had told him that dad was in the water over here. So I'm like, they're gonna go get him, and they didn't. They just drove past him, and then he started screaming even louder. So then I just cut my line, and he grabbed onto the side of my kayak, and I just made sure that he could hold on long enough, because I was gonna try to lift him up in the kayak, but I told myself if I do that, there's gonna be too much water that's gonna come inside. So then that's why I had him. So I just had him hold on to the side. I'm gonna try to paddle to get him in. Then he starts telling me that he's shivering, so I'm like, I don't know if the kid, how long he was in the water, or if he could have hypothermia. So I was like, I'm just gonna call EMS, have them check him out. And then I was happy I did come here because they were here.
I'm very thankful of that. First I say 1,000 and then thank yous.
Yep.
That saved me a bunch of hassle.
Yeah.
Because the river takes him a little bit, and I said,
Yeah.
you got this. We've been in this before.
Yep.
And I tried to get him with the boat, and of course the wind's picking up.
Yep.
So it just whoosh right across the river.
Yep.
So I had to try and walk it back. That is super slow.
Yep.
So thank you very much.
Yep.
Once again, thank you. And we might be seeing each other again.
Okay.
He did not appear worried. He showed no visible signs of alarm. The boy had been alone in the current the entire time, and the man who saved him was a stranger who simply happened to be fishing nearby. The father was close by the whole time, yet the boy drifted far before anyone reached him. Sometimes the people closest to a situation are the last ones to respond. What do you think made the difference that day? In March 2022, YouTuber and urban explorer Jared Coker uploaded a video to his channel documenting his visit to an abandoned dog food factory in Wichita, Kansas. His channel typically covers forgotten and off-limits locations across the country. The trip seemed routine at first. It was not. Jared had been to the factory before. This time he entered through the same way he had come in previously.
Ah, yes, there she is. It's legit crazy just being back here. I guess for the second time, we'll start in this building. Okay, I'm in, but I'm like hearing noises and stuff. It might just be the wind.
Moving through the first building and into the space beyond. Early on, he started picking up on sounds he couldn't explain. He pushed forward anyway. As he moved deeper into the property, the atmosphere shifted.
Oh, the locker room. See, that's what I'm talking about. Every now and then there's just weird noises and bang. To the rest of the factory, the larger 5-story part. I'm actually really scared of running into people here, no joke. That's where I saw a couple guys walk in the first video. We'll go see if the window I used to get in the first time is still open. I've been through here the first time. It's mostly just kind of old parts and stuff again. Well, they barred that entrance off. Because when you're standing dead center here, you're just kind of surrounded on all sides by giant factory parts. I'm gonna go right through that window again.
The noises continued, and a growing unease settled in. Somewhere on the outer gate, someone had spray-painted a warning about the use of deadly force. Jared noticed it, but kept going.
Here we are. It looks just as cool as I remembered from here. Let's say it's time to go into the creepy part, the part where it's all pitch black and burnt down. Here's the area with all the parts and pieces all on the shelves, just mechanical. Like I said, this place is crazy. It just surprises me everywhere I turn. Uh-oh. There's a car right there.
On the upper floor of the second building, he spotted a car pulling up to the main entrance. A man got out and opened the gate. At first, it seemed like a minor issue. Jared figured he could slip out another way before being seen.
I can't figure that should be too much of a problem for me though, because the way I'm going to go out is completely circling around here like I did to get in, so they're coming in the gate. On second thought, I might just want to wrap this up a little quicker here. I want to see where he goes though. Yeah, if I'm going to leave here, I'm going to need to know exactly where he's headed towards. Oh crap. He's really coming all the way in here. He's opening the second gate. Now I'm really concerned. He's gonna go around where I can't see him. Huh. I really do gotta get out of here now.
Then the man opened a second gate and moved further inside the property. Jared realized he needed to leave immediately. He worked his way back down through the building, trying to locate the man before choosing an exit. From a room with multiple windows, he spotted him again. This time, the man was holding something.
What do I do? I couldn't tell what he was holding. Oh my God. Was that a gunshot? I think it was.
A moment later, a loud crack echoed through the space. Jared believed it was a gunshot. He moved fast, trying to find a way out without crossing into the man's path. He didn't make it in time.
I can't see him anywhere. To avoid. Yeah. I don't know for sure. But I think we just have to go for it. Whoa, whoa.
Stop right there.
Whoa.
Who else wouldn't you?
Oh, it's just me. It scared me to death.
Okay, get over there now.
What?
Sit down. I'll give you handcuffs.
Huh?
Put them on. Got it?
Okay.
Either I can put them on or you can put them on. Take your pick.
I've never put on handcuffs before.
Just put them on each side of you. How's that?
What's going to happen?
What's going to happen is the police is going to come and then you take your name and they'll get you for criminal trespassing. A lot better than me shooting you, isn't it?
Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
What you shoot at?
Shoot it. Leave people, I shoot at them. If they run, you shoot. There you go.
The man confronted him directly, forced him to sit down, and placed handcuffs on him. He spoke openly about his willingness to shoot anyone he found on the property, apparently unaware that Jared's camera was still recording.
Don't you see? Something says a use of deadly force. What do you think that is?
I thought that was kid spray.
Somebody else is with you, right?
No, it's just me.
Okay, if I see somebody, I'm going to end up probably shooting them.
Oh no, I would have gotten him.
Okay, I just don't want, they say wait, they scare me. I'm sorry, it's just life. What we're going to do is we'll throw your camera and your bag in the trunk, okay? We'll get in a little red cart, we'll just drive up here, put everything out, police will come, they'll ask you for your driver's license, and they'll give you a little ticket.
The recording eventually stopped as Jared was led to the man's vehicle to wait for police. When officers arrived, they processed the situation and prepared to issue a trespassing citation. In the background, 2 teenage boys were approaching the factory on foot. The man informed the officers directly that he would shoot anyone else he found there. The police left with Jared. The man stayed. That same evening, he returned to the property, located the 2 teenagers, and fired 6 shotgun rounds at them. Both boys survived and were transported to a hospital. The man, later identified as 64-year-old Kenny Lee Thomas, the factory's owner, was charged and convicted on 2 counts of aggravated battery. He received 2 years of probation. The threats had been made openly in front of law enforcement, with every warning sign present. Officers left anyway. What makes this case unusual is that the most serious harm happened after police were already involved, and after a direct warning was ignored. Whether that changes anything about how the situation should have been handled is something a lot of people still disagree on. Do you think the outcome would have been different if the officers had acted on what they heard? The next video comes from Tyson Piers, an outdoor creator who builds survival shelters, runs campsite projects, and takes on real wilderness challenges. This footage was recorded at his TNT bushcraft camp on July 25th, 2020, somewhere in Canada.
Put out the fence, so we brought these special tools today.
Is that a thunder?
I think so.
I think it's gonna rain. If it rains, we can put our bags under the shelter and we're gonna be all good.
The conditions were already difficult before anything went wrong. The heat was high, the physical work was demanding, and the site was fully exposed. There was no cover, and the crew was in the middle of building a fence when the first signs of trouble appeared in the distance. Thunder began forming in the background while the work was still going on. At first, it seemed like it might just bring some rain, nothing serious. The team kept moving forward with the build, but the change came fast. Within minutes, the rain picked up and the temperature dropped. The environment shifted in a way that left little time to adjust. The key detail was not the storm itself. It was how quickly things went from stable to unstable. There was almost no transition between the two.
It's 45 degrees outside, extremely hot, and yeah.
Oh shit!
Yo! You should have seen those trees just moving around.
Wind became the main problem. Trees around the camp started moving hard. Branches began snapping nearby. The storm no longer felt far away. The environment was breaking apart around them in real time.
It's 45 degrees outside. I think my shelter is gonna break.
Holy shit! Oh my god! This is unreal! Oh my god! Yo! No.
Then the rain hit the ground at full force. Water started pooling across the area quickly. Visibility dropped. Movement became harder. At that point, the fence build was completely abandoned. The project no longer mattered.
It's 45 degrees outside, extremely hot.
Yo, il y a un enseignement pas de pluie en plus.
Je sais.
Bushcraft gone wrong.
We're absolutely not safe here.
Staying safe did. They acknowledged out loud that remaining in place was no longer a reasonable option. That was the turning point. Not a single dramatic moment, but the simple recognition that the situation had passed the point of control. The danger came from speed. Heat first, then thunder, then structural pressure, then flooding. Each condition replaced the last before they could fully respond to it. Sometimes the real risk isn't the storm. It's how fast things change before you realize you need to move. What would you have done differently if you were there that day? On October 9th, 2024, a clip uploaded by the channel citysock.ru surfaced and quickly gained attention. The footage captures one of the most unsettling things that can happen to anyone spending time outdoors. A fear that most people hope they never have to face in real life.
Иди сюда! Медведь! Пуля, там ты видишь что? Что ты идешь за мной? Пуля! Вперед! Вон там! Вон, вперед! Иди отрабатывай! Лук! Взять! Куда ты побежал, придурок? Дима, не ругайся! Эй! 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 Да не, Димас, что сейчас? Нормально. Эй! Ну, две собаки это лучше, чем одна. Дима, отходим потихонечку назад. Эй! 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 Иди сюда! Да он молодой совсем. Я тоже должен. Уйдет.
At first, the situation did not seem serious. What appeared in front of them looked like a random disturbance from a wild animal passing through. Nothing about the opening moments suggested it would escalate, but that changed quickly.
Это плохо, это плохо, это плохо, это плохо. Эй, сейчас, сейчас. Эй! Батя услышал, что ли? Да, батя.
Once they understood what they were dealing with, instinct took over. Rather than freezing in place, they started shouting and raising their arms to push the animal back. They had their dogs with them. The dogs began barking. The combination of loud voices and the animals made it harder for the bear to move in closer. After several tense minutes, the bear turned and moved away. The men were able to leave the area without injury. Having the dogs nearby may have been the detail that changed how the encounter ended. Would you have stayed calm enough to do the same thing if you were standing there? The video comes from Straight Explorer, a UK-based solo channel focused on paranormal camping and wilderness investigations. The channel documents overnight stays in allegedly haunted forests and isolated locations. This footage was recorded on April 24, 2026, inside Cannock Chase Forest in Staffordshire, United Kingdom. The investigation starts in silence. He drives at night along rough, narrow roads, where visibility is low and every turn feels uncertain. Nothing strange happens yet, but with each mile, he moves farther from any sign of civilization, and that growing distance quietly sets the tone for everything that follows.
I swear I just heard something knocking on that tree. Hello?
He sends up a drone to scan the forest from above. He's not just looking for a place to sleep. What he wants is distance. Thick trees, muddy paths, and open spots with no sign of people. From there, every choice he makes is about staying hidden, not staying comfortable.
I need to remember the way out without going back down there. I'm gonna find somewhere suitable for us to pitch up. Yeah, I'll bring you back once I find somewhere. Some buzzards up there. Doubt you'll be able to see them. I've finally found somewhere semi-suitable. What the hell was that?
He sets up camp beside a large fallen log. As night settles in, the silence grows heavier and the woods become harder to understand.
There's a light there. Or was it just shining through the trees from the distance? I don't know. And now I feel a little bit weird all of a sudden. I'm going to try and get an EVP here, and then, as you know from my last few videos, I've been getting good. What is that? I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I keep seeing a light. I'm pretty sure it's in the distance. Oh, shiver.
His alertness slowly rises. He starts to feel like something is watching him. Goosebumps linger as he sits near the camp. From the trees, faint sounds come and go, too quiet to recognize but constant enough to keep him on edge.
What the f? I got chills. Oh my god, I have got chills.
His recorder seems to catch something. Through the audio, it sounds like a voice answering back. He reacts instantly. What unsettles him isn't proof. It's how much it feels like a direct response, not just random noise.
I really don't feel alone. Let me just put some more.
Then everything changes. He hears a whisper right next to him. His reaction is immediate. In that moment, the investigation no longer matters. Only the fear does. Some places don't need to show you anything to make you feel like something is there. If you were alone in that forest and heard your name whispered beside you, what would you do? This footage comes from Fell Wanderer, a UK-based bushcraft and wild camping channel. The channel covers remote forest camping, shelter building, and practical overnight survival in isolated woodland settings. This footage was recorded on November 15th, 2023, inside Hardwood Forest in the United Kingdom.
Hi guys, back out again, me and Christopher. And we're doing a little bit of exploring, finding a different way into the camp. Every way in is just difficult. And we've come back to do an overnighter. Everything is as we left it.
The trip starts off calm. They return to a woodland camp they've used before, a place that feels more like a base than a new spot. Everything should be familiar, but early on, a few small things seem slightly off. Nothing serious, just enough to suggest the camp might not be exactly how they left it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to dig out the fire pit, make it a bit more square, get down to the rocks if I can, get rid of all the roots.
They quickly settle into fixing up camp. The fire pit is reshaped, stones put back, and the cooking setup made more stable. They strengthen parts of the shelter nearby. Everything feels calm and under control. Then something on the ground catches their eye. A strange mark, nothing they can clearly explain. They look at it for a moment, think it over, then move on.
Yeah. I think it might be a lot bigger, and it's a baby Bigfoot. This is an area where we usually come in, or we sometimes come in. So it's quite possible that it could be a boot, like just one of us has stood there at some point. This is a very dangerous part of the forest.
Not long after, the weather turns. Rain hits fast, and a thunderstorm rolls through the forest. Everything shifts. They stop working on camp and focus on staying dry. A familiar place can still surprise you when conditions change fast enough. What would you have made of that mark on the ground if you found it at your campsite? The next video comes from Wildcat Adventures, a UK-based outdoor channel covering solo wild camping, bushcraft, and visits to remote natural and historical locations. This footage was recorded on April 20th, 2026, somewhere in Scotland, United Kingdom. The journey starts rough. Strong wind and heavy rain hit right away, with no cover from the elements. The environment pushes back at every step. Before she even arrives, comfort is already gone, and that struggle sets the tone for everything that follows. Slowly, the weather calms. By the time she reaches the loch, everything is quiet and still. The shift feels comforting, but it can be misleading. Camp goes up, the hot tent is set, food is made, and a routine begins. Then everything changes. She leaves the open area and walks into an old abandoned castle. The place is broken down, slowly being taken over by nature. It feels different here. Not just empty, but like time has stopped, and that's what makes it uneasy.
This place is well cool. I wish I'd camped here now.
She walks deeper inside. The paths are broken, so she moves slowly and carefully. Plants are growing everywhere, even where windows used to be. The place doesn't feel like a building anymore. It feels like part of the forest, and that makes it hard to understand what's around her. By the end, nothing confirms a threat, but the location stays with you. Not because of what's there, but because of what remains and what it feels like to move through it without anyone else around. Some places don't need to do anything to leave a mark on you. Would you have kept going deeper into that castle or turned back? The next video of the night comes from Novice Wild Camper, a UK-based outdoor channel covering solo wild camping, hammock setups, and realistic overnight woodland trips. This footage was recorded on October 29th, 2022, at a woodland campsite in Wales, United Kingdom.
Hello YouTube. I'm out on another wild camp tonight. Going to be hammock camping. I'm in Wales. Yeah, good, you? Good, you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Hey?
The trip begins as something simple, a short overnight camp scheduled between other commitments, with no particular goal beyond a quiet and straightforward setup. He makes his way through familiar woodland, heading back to a hidden spot he had used before. Because the location is already known to him, there is no uncertainty in getting there. The plan is controlled and uneventful from the start.
Right, so sitting here chilling out in the hammock, and I've been joined by a couple of yobbos who've come and interrupted my trip. I was thinking about having a fire, and I haven't got anything to really start a fire with, so I'll have to try and improvise with something in the camp.
Then the first disruption arrives. Two strangers show up at the campsite without warning. The exchange is friendly, and nothing about it feels threatening, but the dynamic shifts immediately.
I've also put the fire on. Sounds like a electric stove. I wasn't going to, but I had a slight mishap with my filter and the CNOT bag. I don't know if it's the filter jammed.
The conversation moves into bushcraft topics and fire starting. No tension builds from the visit itself. The two eventually leave. But the original rhythm of the camp has already been broken.
The hammock was very comfortable. I was very, very warm. Lots of usual odd noises, crackings of bushes in the night and trees and branches snapping, but yeah, it was all right.
Later, as the night settles in, the environment begins introducing its own disruptions. Branches crack. Rustling and movement come from deeper inside the woodland. Nothing is followed up on. Nothing gets confirmed. But coming after everything that had already gone sideways, those sounds land differently than they would have at the start of the night. This video is shaped by disruption rather than a single escalating threat. When things start going wrong one after another, even familiar places start to feel different. If strangers showed up at your campsite in the middle of the night, how would you have handled it? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.